Hello and welcome to the daily sketch routine. It is Wednesday. Wait, is it Wednesday? No, it's Tuesday. The 30th, almost the end of July. That's amazing. So today's focus will be drawing the face in perspective, because we've gone over different ways of drawing the face from the front view and the side view. So this is a logical next step. And just to get warmed up, in previous videos, we've talked about using the Loomis method to get the face in perspective. And that works. There's different shorthand that you can use. Sometimes I'll just go like this and then add the back of the head. However, there are other ways, which is sometimes more effective and also sometimes just so that you don't get bored doing it this way. You get different looks, basically. So what I mean is, let me show you. Go ahead and you might want to put down a couple of guidelines as usual. And we're just going to focus on this part. But we're going to make it go this way. So let's say that this is the brow and this is the chin. And so the midpoint will be the nose. And so this is our center line. So because it's in perspective, if you move the bridge of the, or is it called the bridge? The base of the nose. So for example, let's say you put it right here. Then what you've done is you've turned the face in perspective. And then you can determine where the nostril would be. All right. And then determine how far out the nose is going to go. We'll keep it simple for now. Then next you can place the mouth, and the thing with that is, so find a center line. Well, make a mark where the center is, and what I would do is, if that's where the nostril is and that's where the tip of the nose is, I would just find the mouth the way that we've been doing. But you can just draw it this way and that'll make it lined up. And for the chin, you can do the same thing. And so that's basically the center of the face moving off of that center line there. Then the next thing would be, you can find the corner of the eye based upon this corner of the mouth, the far side that we're talking about here. So the corner of the eye will be right there. The next thing would be, it's not the next thing, there's different approaches to it, but I think for me, the next thing would be to figure out how, where the cheek goes, so like that. Again, that's determined by the person that you're drawing or the character that you're drawing, because that's affected by the skull and the skin and like the fat on the face, the shape of the face. So once you get this part, you'll know that the widest part of the face is the cheekbone. So let's talk about that for a little bit. That's also has its own shape, so it could be more rounded or more square. It could be high or lower, but just use the nose as a guide. Also, the chin has a specific look to it depending on the person. So it could be more coming out more, could be more square or rounded, so you have to think about that. And then on the brow area, it's not really going to extend that much further out from the cheekbone in perspective, so that, you know, it'll go about that far. Then once you get this much, you'll know that the eye isn't gonna go, so this determines the eye socket, but I wouldn't necessarily draw it in right now until you place the eye in on the face. And in perspective, you'll notice that this eye is gonna be smaller than on this side of the face, but we're just gonna focus on this right now. We're not even gonna mess with that other side. And so the eye is gonna have, remember that it's a sphere, and so the pupil and the iris and all that is gonna be more elliptical. And then once you can place the eye, then you can think about this shape right here, because that's determined by the eyebrow. How square is it? How far back or forward it is. See? You can start to fill in, flesh out the face. And then the nose in perspective, you'll definitely get a plane, some kind of plane right here. And so the mouth has moved off that center line. So it's at least going to be like that. So the center of the mouth has moved. If you're not sure, then you can draw in the center line for the mouth. So see how the center of the mouth is off of that center line there. So you see everything has moved over. So this is what's going on when we draw the head using whatever method that we use, but that's what's going on. And sometimes it's better to not do it this way and just do it this way and to understand what's going on here. Because sometimes this is, at the end of the day, it's whatever gives you the best looking picture. That's what I think. So you want to know all the different techniques that can get you the picture that you want. So let's do that again, but then this time we'll do a female, and then that'll probably be it for this video. Maybe. Okay. So let's see what we learned here. Another way to do this is like another technique I wanted to talk about. We'll keep basically the same perspective. And so we did that by finding where we wanted the base of the nose. I'm not sure if I'm calling that correctly, but that's what we're calling it. And let's go for a more feminine look. Not as angular. Then you can find the mouth. So the center line is the bottom of the lip, and then above that is the mouth. I'll just kind of indicate it for now. So the other way that I wanted to talk about is, if you establish like this, it's almost like drawing a profile. So you're creating the center of the face. So that's one way to think about it. So by doing that, so that's the upper lip. Again, we're not gonna mess with this side yet. And because the mouth is a cylindrical shape, you really don't want to draw too much of that far side there. And really it's this outside contour that's gonna really make it look masculine or feminine. So with that said, go ahead and establish. I like to figure out how far that's gonna go. And then again, the chin might not be as pronounced, so you can just kind of make more of a curve right there. And then the next thing would be to determine, again, think about the shape of the cheekbone. It's gonna come out further than the rest of the face, and it's gonna have its own shape depending on the person, and also the shape of their face, the fat and the skin and all that. And then think about the shape of the brow. It'll be most likely slighter, more slight, lighter looking. Place the eye. So just kind of line it up with the mouth, using the mouth as a guide. Then once you place the eye, you can finish out this contour. So practice that, play around with that. And then once you practice setting this up, then go look up some reference and see if this is legitimate, if it actually works. I find that it does. So in the next video, I'll add some details and just put down some guidelines, make it go the other way. Play around with it, and then we'll be back tomorrow and do some more sketching. So until next time.